At an operation theater, a man slowly gains his consciousness back, his fingers move, and he opens his eyes. It is Ralph Hanks. It looks like he is being interrogated by someone. There, a mysterious voice echoes in the hall asking, "Who's the president now?" Let's go 5 years back now. Where Ralph is wealthy, healthy, popular, and successful. He has everything anyone would wish for. Adding to this fact is his reputation as a highly appreciated campaign manager who never fails. This time, he has taken in the most unpopular leader in American history, Stevens, and runs the campaign. Based on the data and numbers, he is more than sure that Stevens is going to win the election. Sometimes we wish things to happen according to our plan, but they never do. So, Stevens gets lost, even from New Jersey, which is the place where he actually belongs. He pours all his frustration into Ralph's strategies, blames him for his failure, and insults him in front of the entire party members. Now, we see after 2 years, Mr. Hanks has lost everything with that failure, fortune, fame, and even his self-confidence. He is now sitting at a local bar, listening to the monotonous and habitual interviews of the dissatisfied voters and intellectuals. The US government is facing criticisms for its foreign policy, appalling economic conditions, and increasing crime rates in the country. The people are ready to throw the entire system. They want someone new, who could connect with their life and introduce some practical changes in society. Right on the cue, there is news about an 11-year-old YouTube sensation, Oliver Foley. The news features the video of a kid who has earned attention from many people across the globe because of his innocence, as well as his sensitive speech. He says, "Oh hey, hi, I'm Oliver Foley and I'm announcing my candidacy for President of the United States." Ralph laughs at the video off at first. However, after he observes a few muttering sayings, "That kid gets it," from other bar patrons, he realizes there is something different about this kid. He has honesty. He could appeal to the senses of ordinary people. And, most importantly, even if he is 11, he could understand the problems of real America more than any politician ever did. Now, Oliver is talking about topics that are beyond his age, including developing America as the land of equality and freedom for everyone, making sure that everyone goes to school and more. On the other hand, Ralph is a born opportunist. He also jumps at this one. He does not want to help the country, or bring change into the world. He wants to be on the top of the pyramid again. After a while, he reaches Oliver's house, which is situated in a quiet neighborhood near the suburbs. Surprisingly, that house, even the entire area, does not have anything special to give birth to the youngest president in the history of America. The very first question that comes out of his mouth is, does Oliver really want to be president? Oliver says, "Yep. I'm sick of all the war stuff and the environment stuff, and the fact that everybody lies all the time, and that we only get 2 weeks off at Christmas break." He further tells Ralph how he started a YouTube channel to vlog about Minecraft, but dropped it after a short while because he got bored. Later, he switched to Fortnite vlogging and then decided to run for president. Oliver also excitedly tells him about his video reaching 12 million views. After the dinner, Oliver's parents tell Ralph to ignore his words and consider it a joke, the way it is supposed to be. But he is not ready to give up. Oliver's parents do not want to trust him. But Ralph assures them that it is for the best. Finally, they agree. Ralph is then seen to scream and a drop of blood comes out of his lungs. Later, they start recording his campaign promises video right then and there, followed by campaigning in Iowa. The promises include a platform of less war, more jobs, long weekends, and free video games for every American. It is adorable. It is also disconcerting how seriously people have taken it. As Ralph planned, Oliver starts getting interview calls from magazines and news agencies. As the campaign manager, Ralph has also started gaining his lost glamour now. During one such campaign in rural Iowa, Ralph meets Maura McGowan. Maura apologizes for writing him off after Stevens. She calls the entire squad again to make his plan come true. Soon, media coverage takes the public's reaction and almost everyone is choosing Oliver as their candidate. Oliver is unlike the other politicians the country has ever seen. People are supporting him for his mentality, his vision for the development of America. What's fascinating is the fact that the kid is only 6 points down in Iowa. Ralph hires Larry to train Oliver for the presidential debate. On the practice session, Oliver seems nervous, he is stammering in between the lines, forgets his dialogues, and messes it up entirely. Larry gets frustrated and calls the election campaign a joke. Ralph then fires him, and assures Oliver that everything is going to be okay. Finally, the day arrives. The day of the presidential debate. To nobody's surprise, Oliver's debate becomes a disaster. Another scream. The pain is increasing every hour and it is killing him. Meanwhile, the doctor enters the operation chamber and requests him to wait for the specialist to come. But Ralph couldn't wait. He shouts and says, "Either heal me, or just let me die." Finally, the doctor picks up the anesthesia. On the other side, the news about the horrible presidential debate has reached worldwide. Ralph is being taunted for his foolish imagination. He thinks everything would fall apart, but the news about Homer, Oliver's dog, being cancerous reignites the fire in him. He gets Oliver back on the YouTube screen immediately, and lets him do what he does best, saying, "Be a child, record a YouTube video." They start recording a campaign video about Homer, the best dog in the whole wide world, with the camera zooming on his face and incurable dog cancer scrolling in text across the screen. Surprisingly, it all works. Ralph smiles and remembers the good old days of Oliver's election campaign. Oliver comes hustling into the Oval Office, hops right onto the Resolute desk, and yells saying, "This is so cool, I'm the president, bomb Russia." But Oliver does not try to bomb Russia, he just wants to fulfill his campaign promise to give every American free video games. He stands there silently, while others try to be with him. That is not the end of his fanatical demands, in fact, it is just the beginning. They elected a kid, and they're getting exactly what they had expected. Oliver is stubborn and his rules are totally unrealistic. Several other such decisions follow this one, including the appointment of only young doctors in hospitals, instead of the old ones, and making music videos with soldiers dancing in the background. Ralph stands there silently, watching a little kid make decisions about billions of people out there. Seeing all this, his heart gets filled with guilt, regret, and anxiety, as he is looking at a compulsive, spoiled child ruling the country. Ralph tries talking to the commander-in-chief and even his mother to intervene in his path, but nobody seems interested in confronting him. Ralph does not know what to say to an 11-year-old, so even he is frightened. He shares these feelings with Maura, but she advises him to be indifferent. Finally, Ralph couldn't keep his opinion to himself and decided to have a candid talk with Oliver. He keeps complaining about how boring golf is and how difficult it is to get a hole-in-one. Angrily, Oliver dumps all of the golf balls on the putting green, and when one goes in the hole, he calls it a hole-in-one. Suddenly he asks, "Is it a hole-in-one, Ralph?" Ralph does not know what to say, but he decides to be the first one to confront the truth. He refuses to comply, saying, "No, it is not a hole-in-one, Oliver." Oliver briefly looks hurt by his betrayal. He blames him for not backing him up unconditionally. He keeps asking him about the hole-in-one but hears him saying, "No" repeatedly, which is enough to trigger him and make him angry. Ralph stands there paralyzed. Suddenly the security guards shoot him with guns, and later he is seen in the operation theater, opening his eyes. Seeing this, the doctor sighs in relief, as he was thinking that Ralph is gone forever, but miraculously, he is still breathing. After a moment, the doctor goes away, and Oliver comes as a doctor to operate on him. Ralph's scream echoes in the atmosphere. And the movie ends with a man named Jordan saying, "Ralph Hanks made a living, selling the American dream." Thank you for watching, but before leaving, please make sure that you click subscribe and turn on the notification so that you can enjoy watching more videos like this.